Standing at the back of the mat, feet together. Oh, my camera's a bit low. Turning toes out, followed by heels. So just looking down at your feet, making sure they're tracking straight and parallel to each other. Soft through the knees, hips facing forward, shoulders round and down, and ears over the shoulders. Placing the hands on the hips, and we're going to rock that pelvis forward, flattening through the lumbar spine and back and arching through the lumbar spine. One more time, rocking that pelvis forward and back, and then finding the halfway point between the two, nice neutral spine position. Placing the hands over the rib cage, drawing the shoulders down the back. Nice deep breath in through the nose, feel the rib cage expanding, and out through the mouth. Good. And one more time, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. So while we continue with this deep lateral breathing, I want you to imagine that belt around your waist, drawing the sides towards each other, pulling the belly button back to the spine, and at the same time feel those pelvic floor muscles like a lift coming up. 1, 2, 3. So feeling the tightness through the abdominal core region, but you can keep with that deep lateral breathing. We're relaxing the arms down by your sides. We're going to start with some shoulder shrugs, so shrugging those shoulders up to your ears and then drawing the shoulder blades down the back and lengthening through the back of the neck. So in breath, shrug the shoulders up to your ears. Out breath, drawing the shoulders down and feel that length. Good. One more time. In breath, shrugging the shoulders up, and out breath, lengthening through the neck and drawing the shoulder blades down. Good. And we'll start with some forward shoulder rolls. Just releasing any tightness in those shoulders. Good. One more time. Forward. And then we're going to reverse up to the ears, over the mountain, and down the other side. Good. Squeezing those shoulder blades together at the back. And again, one more time, and then relaxing those shoulders, drawing them down the back, locking them down. We're going to start to float the arms out to the side. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as we reach the hands to the ceiling. On the out breath, we're going to bring the hands back to shoulder height. Bend the elbows and place the hand onto the shoulders, keeping the elbows at shoulder height. And we're going to start to roll those elbows forward, feeling that we're taking the joint, the shoulder joint, through its full range of movement there. Good. Might feel some crunching going on. And we're going to reverse those circles, squeezing the shoulder blades together at the back. Good. 2 more times. Morning, Karen. Last one. Good. We're going to sweep the arms back, interlock the fingers, draw the shoulder blades together, turn the hands inside out and lift them up away from the glutes. So we're getting that lovely stretch through the front of the chest. And then we're going to bring the right arm across the front of the chest. Place the hand onto the tricep above the elbow. If you want to increase it, you can drop that right hand down your back. And again, just increase that stretch. So we're getting that lovely stretch all through that shoulder joint and through that upper arm. Good. And changing arms, so bring the left arm across the chest. And then if you want to increase it, drop that hand down the middle of your back. Good. Breathing through that stretch. And then relax the arms down. Give those shoulders a roll. We're going to drop left ear to left shoulder, right arm behind the back. Take the left hand over the head. Make sure you're drawing that right shoulder down away from the ear. So you're getting that lovely stretch down the side of the neck and across the top of the shoulder. And breathing through that, coming back up to the center, right ear to right shoulder, left arm behind the back. Take the hand over the head and just gently feeling that stretch. Good. And coming back to the center again, keeping the knees soft. We're going to go into the side bend, so right arm up, left arm down, lengthening through the waist and over into that left side bend, really feeling the opening up of that right side. Any pinching in the back, bend those knees a bit more back to the center, left arm up, right arm down, lengthen through the waist and over into that right side bend. Good, and center back up again, and we're going into the roll down, so scooping the belly button to the spine, chin to chest, arms hanging, head hanging, keeping the knees soft, feeling the articulation through each vertebra joint as you let the crown of the head slowly weight you down to the toes. We're going to either hook the fingers under the toes or place the palms flat on the floor, head hanging, shoulders down the back. And we're straightening through the right knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through the left knee for 4, 3, 2, 1, and soften. Straighten through both knees, head hanging. Let those shoulders slide down your back. Breathe through that stretch. And then we're softening the knees, scoop the belly button to spine. We're rounding back up, stacking that spine, roll the shoulders back and coming up to standing. Excellent. So we're going to grab our balls now into the squats. If you really don't want to do squats, you find it's just too uncomfortable through knees, you can work with one leg balance. You can use the ball to slide it forward and back and circle around. If you want to avoid the squats, just working with balancing on one leg. Otherwise, we're going to take the legs a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Remember, with the squats, we're keeping the back straight and we're going to drop down so the weight comes over the heels. The back stays straight. We're not scooping forward. And then we're pushing up through the fronts of the thighs onto the ceiling. Good. So we're going for 5. Squatting. Pull those knees towards each other and reach and push. Good. For 3, we're holding it here. Pull those knees together and we're pulsing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach and push back up. Good. We're squatting down and we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and reach and push back up. We're squatting for 10 pulses this time. For 10, 9, 8. Keep that back straight. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And reach and push back up. Good. Into the right side lunge. Take the ball to the right foot and then reach over to the left and push. Good. So down into the side lunge, reach and push to the left. Good. For 3, side lunge, reach and push. For 2, side lunge, reach and push. Last one, right side lunge, reach and push to the left, and we're centering back up. Good. Into the left side lunge. Touch the ball to the left foot and reach and push to the right. Good. So we're getting obviously the work through the quads, but also a nice side bend and stretch as we reach. For 3, reach and push. Good. For 2, reach and push. Last one, side lunge and reach and push and centering the ball back up. Now we're going to do the whole circle. So we're going to go right side lunge, squat as we run the ball along the floor, left side lunge and ceiling. Good. Right side lunge, squat, left side lunge and ceiling. We're reversing. So left side lunge, squat, keep the back straight, right side lunge and ceiling. Last one, left side lunge, squat, right side lunge and back up to the ceiling. Good. Closing those feet to hip width apart, keeping the knees soft. We're just working on the thoracic back here. So we're going to go left side bend, round through the thoracic back as we run the ball over the knees. Right side bend and ceiling. Good. One more time to the left. So over into that left side bend. Scoop the belly button to spine. Right side bend and ceiling. We're changing direction. So right side bend. Scoop the belly button to spine. So we round through that thoracic back. Left side bend and ceiling. Last one. Right side bend. Rounding through that thoracic back, left side bend and up to the ceiling. Excellent. We're bringing the ball down to the floor, sitting on the ball, crown of the head up to the ceiling. Make sure the ankles are underneath the knees there. We want to think of the length through the waist and think of having the weight evenly distributed into that ball through the seat bones. Keeping that weight level and even through the seat bones, we're going to float the right leg up off the floor and lower back down again. Good. Again, keep that left seat bone down. We're floating the left leg up and lower back down. Now to make it a little bit harder, we can have the arms out in front of us. Keep the length through the waist. We're going to float the right leg up, lengthen the right leg away, and we're going to start with those ankle circles, nice and slow, 3 times in each direction. So we're changing direction. Again, don't let that waist collapse. Keep reaching the crown of the head to the ceiling. And we're pointing and flexing through the foot. Point and flex. Good. One more time. Point and flex. Bend that right knee and lower it back down to the floor. Good. So weight down into the left seat bone as we float the left leg up. Lengthen the left leg away. Keep the crown of the head to the ceiling as we circle that foot. 2 and 1. We're changing direction for 3, 2 and 1. Good. And then we're pointing and flexing. Point and flex. Last one. Point and flex. Bend the knee and take it back down to the floor. Good. Relaxing the arms down. We're going to circle and loosen that pelvis off. 2 circles in each direction. Nice and slow. Feeling the stretching of the ligaments and tendons. And we're reversing. Good. Again, 2 circles. And then coming back to the center. We're going to come up to standing. Just slide the ball away for a sec. Standing the back of the mat. Ready for your roll down. So if you need to adjust your cameras for when you're on the floor, now's the time. So scooping the belly button to spine, knees are soft, dropping chin to chest. If you want to do it this time with straight legs, that's also fine. As you're articulating through the spine, letting the crown of the head weight you down. We're just going to hold that stretch, shoulders down the back, let the head hang, soften through the knees, walk the hands forward and onto your all fours. So knees underneath hips, wrists underneath the shoulders. We're scooping that belly button to spine. Back of the head in line with the spine as we round up through the thoracic back into the cat stretch. Drop the head between the arms, and then we're going to lengthen through tail and crown again, keeping the belly button scooped. We're going to feed on through into that back extension and take the eyes to the ceiling. Good. In breath, rounding up through the thoracic back. Draw the shoulders away from the spine. On the out breath, lengthen tail and crown into that back extension. Good. One more time, just to flex it off. We're rounding the thoracic back up to the ceiling. And then coming up to your neutral spine position, keeping the belly button scooped. We're going to slide that left leg back. Tuck the left toe underneath you. Make sure we drive the hip down to the floor. Don't hitch it up. Push back through the hands. You can come onto forearms if you want to. And we're pushing that heel towards the floor for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that left knee in. Good. So slide the right leg back, drive that right hip down, push the heel towards the floor, keep the pressure on, and we're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and sliding that right knee back in. Good. So into the hip drops, we're going to take both of the drop the hips to the right, and then we're going to look over the left shoulder at the feet. In breath to center. Again, you can do this on your forearms. If it's too much on your wrist, we're going to drop the hips to the left. Look over the right shoulder at your feet. Good. And center back up. So the thing with this stretch is if you're not tight around the pelvis, IT bands, glutes, you probably won't feel too much, and that's fine. If you are tight, then you will feel it, and this is a good stretch. Good. And coming back to the center again, we're going to drop back to your heels. Reach the hands away from you. Drop the head down between the arms, and just feel the opening up through the lower back and through the sides. And then scooping the belly button to spine, we're rounding back up and stacking the spine. Good. So grabbing our balls now. If you don't want to do it over the ball, then just come onto all fours. We're lying over the ball, legs along, wrists are underneath the shoulders, shoulders drawn down the back. And remember, scoop the belly button to spine and try and lighten the weight away from the ball. Good. So we're pointing through the left toe. We're reaching the left leg back to touch the wall behind you as we take the leg up to hip height. Again, think of lifting the waist away from the ball, and we're going to pulse it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We're firing up that left glute. 3, 2, 1, and lower the left leg down and tuck the toe underneath. Again, lift the belly button from the ball. We're pointing through the right toe. We're reaching the leg back and up, and we're pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower the leg back down. Good. pointing through the left toe. We're going to take the right hand forward. We're reaching forward and back, holding this for a breath, keeping the pelvis level, and lower back down and sliding back in. Good. Right toe back, left hand forward, reaching forward and back. Good. Thinking of even weight between the two hips. Lower back down and sliding back in. Left leg, right arm, reaching forward and back. Now to progress it, we're going to take the leg and arm out to the side. Keep the weight level. Back to the center and lower back down and slide back in. Good. Left arm, right leg, reaching forward and back. And then to progress, we can take it to the side. Good. Back to the center, lower back down, slide it back. And we're going to just round over the ball. If you're on the floor, you can just sit back on your heels. Just stretching off through the back. Coming back onto the all fours again, lifting the belly button away from the mat. We're pointing through the left toe, reaching it back as we take it up to hip height. Bend the knee, so we're heel kicking. Lift the knee up and lengthen the leg away. Good. So we're going for 9. Heel kick, lift and lengthen. 8. Heel kick, lift and lengthen. We should be firing up that left glute for 7. Heel kick for 6. Lift and lengthen. For 5. Lift and lengthen. Good. For 4. Lift and lengthen. 3. Heel kick. Lift that knee and lengthen. 2 more. Lift and lengthen. Last one. Heel kick. Lift and lengthen. We're bending the knee, flex the foot, take the foot up to the ceiling, and we're pulsing it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen the leg away and lower back down and tuck the toe underneath. Good. Check the belly button is lifted away from the ball as we point through the right toe, reaching it back and up, heel kicking, so bend the knee, lift the knee up and lengthen that leg away. Good. So for 9, heel kick, lift and lengthen. Good. Heel kick for 8, lift and lengthen. Good. For 7, lift and lengthen. For 6, feel it through that glute. For 5, lift and lengthen. Good. For 4, as you lift and then lengthen, keep the height. For 3, lift and lengthen. 2 more, heel kick and lengthen. Last one, heel kick. Lift the knee and lengthen. Good. We're bending the knee, flex through the foot, keep the belly button lifted away from the ball, take the foot to the ceiling and we're pulsing it up. 10, 9, 8, 7. If you're not feeling it in your glutes, take that foot up higher. For 3, for 2, last one, lengthen the leg away, lower the foot back down. We're going to come back onto our knees, hands on top of the ball. Keep the hands on top of the ball, sit back on your heels, roll the ball away and drop the head down between the arms. Now if this feels too much through your shoulder joints, just bring your hands down on the ball or just place the hands onto the floor. And we're just going to roll from side to side, just loosening. We're just rocking. Loosen that back off. Good. And then we're going to round back up, stacking that spine, coming back to kneeling, and we're coming into our nice planking on the ball. Again, if you don't want to do it on the ball, use the forearms. You can always start on the ball and then revert back to just doing it on your forearms on the floor. So, placing the hands onto the ball, keeping the belly button scooped. We don't want to arch through the back. We're going to roll the ball forward. So we don't want hollowing. Keep that belly button lifted. Take the feet to the edges of the mat, tuck the toes, and then we're lifting up into that plank position. Again, we don't want the bottoms too high. At the same time, we don't want to be arching through the back, so keep that core lifted. Good. For 10, sorry, we're not doing 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower those knees back down. Have a breather. We're going to do it again, and we're going to hold it up for 10 seconds. Of course, you work with yourselves. You need to come down, you come down and back up again. So we're pushing back up into the plank. Good. For 10, 9, 8. Try and stay lifted out of your shoulders. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're lowering back down. We're going to do it one more time for 15 seconds. You're doing great. And we're pushing back up for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent job, everyone. Back onto your knees. We're going to hold the ball at it on the side. Sit back on your heels, head down to the mat. We're going to roll the ball over to the right. So the right hand is underneath the ball. We're going to look up to the ceiling. Keep the weight in your left seat bone. And then we're going to roll the ball over to the left. Right hand on the top. Look up underneath that right arm. Trying to keep that right seat bone down. Good. Back to the center. We're rounding back up and stacking that spine. Excellent. So rolling the ball to the side for a bit. We're going to grab our blocks or cushions, whatever we're using. Place it on the top of the mat. We're going to come to lying on our right side. Our knees are bent. Arms straight out in front of you. Waist lifted up away from the mat. Feet, knees, and hips are stacked. So on the in-breath, we're going to take that top arm up to the ceiling. Keep that shoulder away from your ear. Push that left hip forward. We're following the hand with the head into that open book position. Just breathing through the stretch there. And then we're drawing that left arm back up and closing that book back up. Good. In breath, take that top arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle, so keeping the hand on the floor as much as possible. We're coming down over the legs, over the open hand, up above the head, nice and slowly, stretching out any, tightness or restriction in that shoulder joint. Push that top hip forward, and we're closing that book back up again. Good. In breath, take the arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle, we're coming up above the head, over the open hand, down over the legs, push that top hip forward into the open book, and then we're drawing that arm back up and closing that book up. Brilliant. So we're going to come up onto our elbows, slide the block away, fold your mat. If you as I said before, if you've got a very thick mat, you might find you don't need to fold it, or you just fold it once. Make sure the elbows underneath the shoulder, lifting the neck away from the shoulder, so keeping the back of the head in line with the spine, and the waist is lifted up, not nice comfy couch position. Take that top arm to the ceiling, push that top hip forward, we're opening the arm back, take the chest to the ceiling, and then on the out breath, lift up through the waist. We're bringing the arm through the gap, feed it through, follow the hand with the head. We're creeping the fingers away, and we're just holding the stretch, feeling that lovely rotational stretch through our backs. Float the arm back up to the ceiling again, and we're coming into the side plank. So alternatives are keep going with the feed through, don't lift. Lift through the hips, or if you want to progress it, straight legs. But remember, we're trying to lift that waist as much as possible. We're going for 5 feed throughs. So we're feeding through the gap and reach the arm to the ceiling. Remember, don't let your right ear crunch down into your right shoulder. You're keeping that gap. Good. 3 more. Lift the waist to feed through and back up to the ceiling. 2 more. And up. Good. Last one. Feed through the gap. Back up to the ceiling. Lower back down, come up to sitting. We're going to unroll that mat and just give those shoulders a bit of a roll if need be. And we're going to come down to lying on our left side, head on your cushion, both arms straight out in front of you. Plank, side plank getting any easier? Thumbs up. I can see loads of thumbs there. Good. Okay, arms straight out in front of you, stacking shoulders, hips, knees and feet, pushing that top hip forward. We're taking the right arm up to the ceiling, keep the shoulder away from the ear, pushing that hip forward. We're opening the book up, follow the hand with the head, just breathe through the stretch. And then draw that arm, and we're closing that book back up. Good. In breath, arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle. We're coming down over the legs, over the open hand, up above the head. Keep pushing that hip forward into your open book. And then we're drawing the arm back up and closing the book. Good. On your in-breath, we're taking that top arm to the ceiling. Push that top hip forward. Follow the hand with the head. We're drawing the chalk circle. We're coming up above the head first. Trying to keep the hand on the floor as much as possible. Over the open hand. Down over the legs. Push that hip forward. Follow the hand with the head as you draw the arm back up and closing that book. Brilliant. So coming up onto your elbows, folding that mat. Make sure, this is the most important thing, is that elbow is underneath that shoulder and you're keeping the shoulder down the back, waist lifted up away from the mat. Take that top arm up to the ceiling, push that top hip forward. We're opening the arm back, chest to the ceiling. And then we're bringing the arm round, palm down, feet through the gap. Follow the hand with the head, creeping those fingers away, holding the stretch, breathing through it. Good. And then take that top arm back up to the ceiling. And now the choice is yours with the alternatives with the side plank. If you're doing long legs, the top leg comes over the bottom leg. We're pushing up. Remember, lift up through the waist. We're working these side muscles here. And we're going to feed the hand through the gap and back up to the ceiling again. Good. So for 4 and up to the ceiling. Keep the distance between your left ear and shoulder. For 3. Good. 2 more. Lift the waist up. And last one. Lifting that waist. Feed through the gap. Back up to the ceiling. We're lowering back down. Come up to sitting. Unfold the mat. Give those shoulders a roll. You can rub those elbows if they feel a bit tight. We're coming to sitting at the end of the mat. So the mat's rolling away behind you. The knees are bent. Feet tracking straight and hip width apart. So roll back C curve. So we're not rolling all the way to the floor. Arms straight out in front of you, shoulders down the back. On the in-breath, we're drawing the belly button to spine. We're C curving through that back. We're rolling back into the C curve. Now remember to keep the shoulders down and wide and broad between the chest. Check the belly button is pulled in. And we're rolling back up and stacking that spine. Good. On the in-breath, draw the belly button to spine. We're rolling back into that C curve. Good. We're going to do our bow and arrow. So we're taking the left elbow back. Follow the hand with the head. Check that belly button is pulled in as we round and stack that spine. Good. On the out breath, we're rolling back to the C curve. We're taking the right elbow back to the center, and roll back up and stack. This next time, we're going to do both arms in the same roll back. So drawing the belly button to spine, we're rolling back. We're going to take the left elbow back. Keep the chin towards the chest, protect your neck. Right elbow back, keep the belly button pulled in. We're rounding and stacking. We're going to go to the right first this time. So we're rolling back to the C curve. Scoop the belly button. Right elbow, center, left elbow, center, rounding back up and stacking. We're going to do both arms the next time. It's quite hard, so don't go too low the first time. See how you get on. If it's too much with both arms, do one again each side. So we're rolling back to the C curve again, not too low. We're opening the arms out to the side, center, and round and stack. Good. Last time now, rounding back to your C curve. Straight arms. We're floating the arms out to the side, center, round and stack. Lengthen both legs away. Hinging from the hips, we're reaching over the knees, grabbing hold of your feet or shins wherever you can reach. And then take a pull and see if you can drop that chest a little bit lower. Keep the elbows soft. That will help to keep the shoulders down the back. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, see if you can drop a little bit lower. This is such a good stretch for any lower back issues. Good, and we're rounding back up and stacking the spine. Both arms out in front of you. We're going to roll all the way back down to the mat. So we're scooping belly button to spine. We're C-curving through the back. We're coming down. Keep the knees and feet together. Lumbar, thoracic. Take the head down. Reach the arms over the head. Back of the hands onto the floor and flexion through the feet. So we're going to reach that left arm back to touch the wall behind you. At the same time, we're lengthening through that left foot. In breath to center, and we're doing right side. And what we're doing here is we're lengthening, stretching out and relax the muscle between the top of the hip and the rib cage. We're going left side, lengthening away, called your QL muscle, and this is just really stretching that muscle. We're centering again, which if we're not level through the pelvis can cause a lot of lower back pain. So it's just stretching out that whole side on the right. Relax and see now if that lower back can just relax a little bit more into the mat. And then we're going to grab our balls. We're going to bend the knees, place the ball underneath the calves. The ball is sitting snugly up against the back of the hamstrings. The knees and feet are close together, arms to the side, palms to the ceiling. Engaging the core, so belly button drawn to the spine. On the out breath, we're going to take both knees over to the right. Head goes to the left. Control the movement. Don't let the legs just flop down. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center those knees back up again. Good. On the out breath, we're going to take both knees over to the left. Head goes to the right. Again, controlling the movement. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Good. We're going to do one more time to each side. So over to the right. See if the knees can come a little bit lower, but without pulling on that back at all. Take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up. Both knees over to the left. Head goes to the right. And take the lumbar spine to the mat as we center back up again. Brilliant. So we're going to point through the left toe, take the left leg straight up to the ceiling, reach through the toe, try and touch that ceiling. We're coming chin to chest, up from the breastbone, take hold of the leg, keep the shoulders down the back. We're drawing the leg towards the nose. Keep hold of the leg. We're increasing the stretch as we lower the head back to the reach the ceiling, and we're going to flex through the foot, so heel to the ceiling and then toe to the ceiling. And when you reach heel, push that heel up to the ceiling and toe. Last one, heel to the ceiling and toe. We're lowering that left leg back over the ball again. Good. So pointing through the right toe, reach the leg up to the ceiling, chin to chest. Come hold up from the breastbone. Take hold of the leg, bend the elbows, shoulders down the back, and we're drawing the leg towards your nose. Keep the leg long and reaching to the ceiling. We're going to keep hold of the leg, increase the head back down to the floor, toe to the ceiling, and then pushing that heel up to the ceiling. Toe to the ceiling, reach that heel to the ceiling. Good. 3 more times. Toe to the ceiling and push the heel up. 2 more. Toe and heel. Last one. Toe to the ceiling and pushing that heel up. Brilliant. We're lowering that right leg back over the ball again. Relaxing the arms to the side, we're coming up into the shoulder bridge position. So again, drawing the belly button to spine, we're curling that pelvis up off the mat, peeling the vertebra one at a time as we come up into the shoulder bridge. The legs are lengthening. Keep the pressure through the ball. We're squeezing those glutes to lift the hips up, but keeping the rib cage down. Check there's no tension through the neck and shoulders. And then we're going to come back down one vertebra at a time. Keep that pelvis curled up until that lumbar spine comes into the mat, and then releasing the pelvis down. Good. In breath, belly button to spine. Out breath, we're curling up. Good. Pushing forward through the fronts of the thighs, squeezing those glutes, pressure through the ball. We're going to reach the right and left arm up to the ceiling. Good. So in breath, we're going to lower the back straight down to the floor, squeeze through the glutes to push back up. Good. So we're lowering for 7 and push. Good. For 6. Now try and think of keeping an even weight through the calves on the ball, as well as engaging your core muscles. Good. 3 more. In breath to lower. Remember, it's only the hips we're pushing up, not the rib cage. For 2. Last one. Lower back down. Push back up. Now we're going to drop those glutes 2 centimeters. Squeeze and lift those hips up. For 9 and lift. 8, lift. 7, keep the rib cage down. 6, and lifting those hips. 5, we should be feeling it through the glutes. If you're feeling it through your back, drop your rib cage and squeeze those glutes up. For 3 and 2. Last one, and we're coming back down, 1 vertebra at a time, keeping the pelvis curled up into the end. Place the feet onto the front of the ball, give those knees a hug, and we're rocking from side to side. And I can really see such a huge improvement with that one. Hardly anyone is moving at all with that last one. Which I know in the beginning we used to be wobbling around all over the place. So excellent work. Good. And then we're just going to take those knees shoulder width apart, just really opening up the pelvis. Just increase that rocking a little bit. Draw that ball in so the feet are just resting on the ball. Good. Okay, so we're going to scoop the ball up with our feet, place into the hands, legs are up into tabletop, and we're locking that back down by drawing the belly button to spine. Keep the elbows soft, shoulders down the back. We're starting to toe tap left leg on the out breath. We're toe tapping the left leg and back up to the center. Good. On the out breath, right leg and center. Good. One more time to each side, and then if you want to progress it, you can do double toe, so both legs come down. Obviously make sure that back stays locked down into the mat. We're doing 5 of these. Let's do 6. So if you're toe tapping with single leg, 3 more to each side. Good. For 3 and up. Good. I'm counting for the double leg. Lock the back down. Good. 2 more to each. 2 more. Double leg. And last one. Good. Take the legs back up. We're going to lower the left foot to the floor. Place the ball on the front of the thigh of the right leg. So upper thigh comes onto the upper leg, not below the knee, it's above the knee. Push the ball back into push the knee back into the ball, resisting with the hand. So the knee that's holding the ball is up in tabletop, yeah? And then we're going to float the left leg now up into tabletop position, lock the back down, and we're toe tapping for 8. 7. To make it harder, increase the pressure through the right knee. Good. For 4, lock that back down. For 3. For 2. And last one. Good. Place the left foot down. We're going to place the ball between, place the ball between the left knee and the hands. We're floating that left leg up to tabletop. Good. And then the right leg comes up and we're toe tapping for 8. 7. Make sure that lower back is staying down for 6. and 5. Good. For 4 and 3. For 2. Last one. Good. Hug those knees in. Place the ball onto the shin and just rocking from side to side. Brilliant. So placing the ball between the calves now, squeezing those calves on the ball. We're going to take those legs straight up to the ceiling. Lock the back down. We're squeezing the calves on the ball for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower back down. If it feels too much through your back, just keep the knees bent and do the calf presses with the knees bent. I'm going to straighten those legs up one more time. And we're pulsing for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull the belly button to spine. 2, 1, and bending those knees. Good. Now the fun part. Legs straight up to the ceiling. Open the legs, catch the ball. We're throwing it back up and catching between the feet or legs. Good. For 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Excellent. Hug those knees in. Rock from side to side, loosing off your back. You can have the feet on the front of the ball if you want, or just leave the ball for a sec. Good. So we're going to place the right foot onto the ball. Keep the left knee hugging over the chest. We're going to lengthen the right leg away. Push the pressure through the right heel into the ball. Hugging that left knee in. And then we're scooping the left forearm underneath that left knee. And we're going to bring the knee out to the left side. Again, keeping the pressure through the right leg so we don't roll onto our sides. And use the back of the hand to increase that stretch a bit. Good. We're going to take the right hand over the left knee. Bring the knee up and over to that right shoulder. Good. And again, keeping the pressure through that right leg. Again, if you're tight through the IT band or glute minimus, you're going to feel this. If not, you're not going to get too much of a stretch here, but that's fine because it's okay, that muscle for you. And then we're going to place that left ankle onto the right upper thigh. Draw that ball in, keeping the left knee at right angles. If you want to increase it or you prefer, you can just lift that right leg up and roll ever so slightly onto that right side, just increasing that stretch through the left. And then we're going to think about lengthening through the back of the neck, taking the shoulders down to the mat. Just breathing through that stretch. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. So we're placing the left foot onto the ball. Hug the right knee up to your chest. We're going to lengthen the left leg away, push the left heel into the ball, hugging that right knee up. Good. Scoop the forearm underneath the right knee and take the leg out to the right side, using the back of the hands to increase that stretch. We're stretching down the inside, your adductor muscles, the inside of the thigh muscle there. Good. Just keep putting the pressure on, increasing the stretch. And then we're going to take the left hand over the knee, bring that knee up and over to the left shoulder. At the same time, applying the pressure into the ball so we're not rolling onto our sides. And again, just breathing through that stretch. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're placing that right ankle up onto the left thigh, drawing that ball in or scoop that leg up. Keep the knee at right angles and then roll ever so slightly onto that left side to increase that stretch. If you're using the ball, you want that ball really snugly up against that left hamstring. So you're really, the left hamstring, so that you're really putting that leg under stretch there. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to take both feet back down to the floor. Very slowly, we're going to roll onto our sides, come up onto our knees again. We're going to be working with some back extensions. So if you don't want to use the ball, you can just come down to lying on your front. So we're going to lie over the ball, keeping the ball below the breast. Tuck the toes underneath you, feet to the edges of the mat, and so that you feel that weight is coming through, being held through the feet. Thinking about that neutral spine position, hands in a diamond shape, and we're placing them on the front of the ball. Take the nose down to the ball. So the first one we're going to do is just lengthening through the back of the neck, drawing the shoulders down the back. Now remember, as we come up, we're going to lift the front of the pelvis up away from the ball. Good. Draw those shoulders down the back, and then we're lowering back down to the ball again. This time, as we come up, we're going to have the hands either side of the shoulders, squeezing those elbows into your rib cage. Remember, lifting the front of the pelvis up away from the ball. Good, and lower back down again. One more like that. We're lengthening through the back of the neck. Hands either side of the shoulders. Lift the front of the pelvis up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And lower back down. We're going to place the hands now behind the head. Obviously keeping no pressure there, just resting them. Elbows are wide at shoulder height. So we're coming up, lengthening through the back of the neck. Lift the hips up away from the ball. We're going to sweep the left arm back to the feet. Follow the hand with the head. Good. Center the hand behind the head. We're sweeping the right arm back. Follow the hand with the head. Now, if this is not comfortable, go back to the W arms. We're having the hands by the shoulders. We're going to stay up. We're going to do 5 times to each side. If you need to come down and just rest that back, by all means do that. Good. So we've got 2 more to each side. Left hand back. Follow the hand with the head. Right arm back. Follow the hand with the head. Last time to each side. Try to lift a bit higher, but keep that pelvis lifted away from the ball. Good. Those hip bones. Scoop them up from the ball. Right arm back. Good. We're going to come back onto our knees. Let's just push the ball away. We're going to stay lifted through the hips. Walk the hands forward and then drop the weight back a bit. So we're not actually coming all the way back to the heels, but we're leaning back through the glutes. Tailbone is leaning back to the heels. We're reaching the hands away from us. Good, and then drop back to your heels. We're rounding back up and stacking the spine. We're coming to sitting, legs in the V, grab the balls, flexion through the feet, crown of the head up towards the ceiling, right hand on the ball. We're going to run the ball down that right inner thigh into a side bend. Bring the left arm over the top. Reach the left arm up to the ceiling. We're lengthening through the back of the neck. Both hands onto the ball. Now push the ball away. Drop that chest over the right knee. And then keeping the chest to the floor, we're going to walk the ball back to the center of your V. Drop that chest down a little bit lower towards the floor. And then we're rounding up, stacking that spine. Good. Left hand on the ball. Run the ball down that left inner thigh. Right arm comes over the top. Right arm to the ceiling. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Good. Both hands on the ball. Push the ball further away. Drop the chest over that left knee. Keep the chest to the floor. We're walking the ball back to the center. Good. Drop the head between the arms there. Feel that stretch through the inner thigh. And we're rounding back up and stacking the spine. Now, I know we're sort of at 10:30, so if you need to go, just do a round up to come up. If you've got 2 more minutes, I just want to do that psoas stretch. So we're going to come up to kneeling, holding the ball in front of you. We're going to take the left knee in front of the ball to the side of that ball. Giving the ball a hug, we're going to slide the right leg back. Keep the top of the foot on the floor for the moment. Drive that right hip down. We're going to tuck the right toe underneath us. Straighten through the right leg, taking the heel to the floor. And if you want to, you can come up from the breastbone, forearms onto the ball. Keep driving the right hip down. So the aim is to get that right leg as straight as possible and drive that right hip to the floor. Then we're targeting the right muscles. Those hip flexors, psoas muscle. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. We're changing legs. So right knee comes to the right side of the ball. Give that ball a hug. Creep back with the left leg. Don't lift up yet till you feel a pull through that left side. Tuck the toe underneath you, straighten up through that left knee, come up from the breastbone if you want to, driving that heel down to the floor, at the same time driving that left hip down towards the floor. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the left knee down. We're going to come up to standing. So push up through the right leg. Feet are hip width apart. We're just going to roll the ball forward. Keep the legs straight. Push the tailbone back at the same time, reaching the arms forward. So you want to be leaning back through the tailbone, reaching forward through the arms. Drop the head down. And we're going to hold this for 2 deep breaths in. As you breathe out, see if you can lengthen and drop a little bit lower. Last time. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, lengthening and lowering. Soften through the knees. We're rounding back up, leaving the ball on the floor. Stack that spine. Roll the shoulders back. Excellent work, everyone. Good job. Okay.